Let's see, call the meeting to order, call the Animal Services Committee to order. A physical quorum of members is not present. However, pursuant to Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, members are permitted to attend remotely. Either one member of the committee, the chief administrative officer, or our chief legal counsel are physically present. There's actually 3 of us board members present. At the regular meeting location, in-person attendance and public comments are allowed, subject to attendance limitations required to ensure the health and safety of those who attend. So calling the meeting to order, we have roll call we took here, I think, right? We got everybody but Sam, who had some meeting this morning. He just texted me. Public comments, I think we have one person signed in, Stephanie, vice chair of our DuPage Animal Friends, who's going to talk a little bit about giving DuPage.
Thank you, Brian. I'd like to introduce Max Lacaros. He's the president of DuPage Animal Friends.
Step closer, Stephanie, so they can see you.
Max Lacaros, he's our president of DuPage Animal Friends, and I'm the vice president of DuPage Animal Friends and chairing this year's Giving DuPage Days. I first just want to thank Member Krajewski for your pledge with your match donation, and Member Rutledge for sharing our posts on Facebook, and Member Garcia for helping get our likes up. There's been a ton of public support for Giving DuPage Days. DuPage Animal Friends has a goal of raising $25,000 over just 5 days. So it really is going to take all hands on deck to help us get to that goal. But we're really excited for the support that we've gotten so far. We still have some match donation positions available if anybody was interested in being a match donor. This is a very public event, so we're really helping to raise awareness for the event and spread the word. So any support that you can provide is greatly appreciated. And then also just helping us share those graphics on Facebook. We did create a couple of graphics for you guys to share. So if you are interested, I'll be here after the meeting. And if I could just get the best way to contact you, we'll get you guys those shareable graphics. So thank you so much for any support you guys can provide.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Maybe have any questions or stuff for your Max? Or yes, go on.
Just a suggestion. Thank you, Chairman. Why don't you go ahead and email out to all of the members of this committee those shareable graphics, if you wouldn't mind?
Can I use your official county emails?
Sure.
Okay,
That's fine.
great. I will send that to
Thank you. Thank you.
We met Karen Romano, my former vice chair of this committee, and I met last night with Max and Stephanie. But they also have some social media that you'll be able to give to us that we could share out there.
Yep.
And Karen also agreed to be a match pledge because we were joining our other former member, Don Pachowski, who was, I think, our first one to say that he's going to put a pledge out there. So I thank all of our former members also. And no other public comment. Move on to chairman's remarks. So last week, House Bill 1711 was up in the House for a vote. I want to say that our lobbyists worked very hard. Chip Humes. I was working for about a week and a half and trying to round up the votes for the bill. We had 25 co-sponsors of the bill, and eventually we wound up with every single DuPage legislator voting for the bill. They had 45 going into the day. They wound up with 76 votes and only needed 60 to pass, but every DuPage legislator voted for it, with the exception of Kifowitz, who took a no vote or just a walk on the vote, so she didn't vote yes or no. But we had every legislator on it. There was some argument on the floor regarding preempting home rule and whether it required 71 votes or not. The parliamentarian ruled it only required 60, and then they raised the issue a second time, and eventually it passed with 76 votes. And it was nice to see every DuPage legislator on that. It got officially filed yesterday. I don't see Cheryl here, but with the Senate. So the Senate now has it. Senator Castro is taking lead in the Senate on it. Senator Holmes has signed on as a chief co-sponsor. So they're looking for sponsors now on the Senate side. So I talked to our lobbyist yesterday. He's going to work our DuPage legislators. I did correspond with John Kern. I think he said he was going to jump on as a sponsor today, one of our former county board members. So now we have to get it through the Senate for a vote, and we'll see how that goes. The lobbyists are working very hard down there. I know when I was talking to some chief of staffs and legislators outside of DuPage County, they had all met Dr. Hannock, our friend, Kurt Fiedler, who's the lobbyist who seems to be in every legislator's office trying to tell them the other side of the story. But that firm is very close with Senator Harmon at the head of that firm. So we'll see how it goes, but we're going to be working our senators. So if you guys have any contacts with our DuPage senators, encourage them to jump on as a co-sponsor of the bill. Not sure yet, hasn't been assigned to committee. The thinking is it's going to go to the ag committee. Not sure yet, though. It has not been assigned. And we did have it in a very friendly House committee, and Seth Lewis was one of the 6 on that board who helped push it through with a 5-1 vote to get out of committee at the House. So we'll let you know when it gets posted in the committee, and then we'll work on witness slips too. I know Animal Friends did a phenomenal job, and as did our board members in sharing that, but we had a lot of witness slips at committee for the House side. So anything you can do, and like I said, Senator Castro and Senator Holmes are up in leadership too, so they have some strong pull to bring some of their people along. So, but that's the status of that House bill, which is now in the Senate. That's the only thing I have, and we'll move on now for a motion approval of our Animal Service Committee regular meeting minutes of March 16th.
So moved. Second.
Any questions, additions, comments? Okay, we take a roll call, Christie.
Desart,
All in favor?
Aye.
Echo,
He's frozen.
Garcia,
Aye.
Krajewski,
Aye.
Rutledge.
Aye.
Tornatori.
Grant. Okay, motion passes. Okay, administrative updates. We would start with Barb. You want to start with administrative
Sure.
update here?
I have a couple things. Just a couple days ago on Sunday, we had our free first of the year. We've got 4 planned, but it's a vaccine clinic for the public. And so it was for those that qualify. We have 1 more coming up later in the year, and then we have 2 that are low cost. And we did vaccinations for dogs and cats, and also microchip, which was really important. 1 dog came in that had pretty severe mouth, so we're getting it back in for a dental. So they really thought that was a blessing that they get to come back to have their dog's mouth taken care of. So we're excited about that. And it was really a fun day. I mean, it was just, the staff did a beautiful job, so everything went really smoothly, and Friends was there, and so it was really good. And I think we really did a good service for the public. And then also let you know that the vehicle, our surgery, the veterinary vehicle, was supposed to start first week in May, and got a call from Feral Fixers. Tammy, the founder of Feral Fixers, asking that they have a lot of cats and could we start early. So as of just end of last week, we're going to start surgery this week, Thursday. So we're going to start 2 weeks early to get ahead of all the kittens coming in and stuff. So
How many kittens do you have now?
how many what?
How many kittens do you have now?
Kittens, we've got probably a couple of handfuls but it's just starting, and it's a late start. I don't know if it's because the winter was a really strong winter. But as far as, and us by helping Feral Fixers usually decreases the numbers that we see. So it's, so we'll be seeing them probably more through Feral Fixers, but they're starting to come in. It's just like when the flowers come up, the kids start coming in, they're very seasonal like that. So, yeah, so it's kind of fun. We miss them over the winter time. So other than that, everything's going well.
Puppies too. Oh, the puppies.
That it?
That's it.
Thank you. How many cats have we gone through now for the ban? How many
Feral
babies?
Fixers,
What's
Christy
ban?
might have better numbers on that. I mean, it's, what do we do, like?
We've done 2 full years, correct?
600 a year?
I know it's over 1,000. I'm
I
just
think
not
we've been
sure.
doing like, maybe we did like 300 or 400 first year. I can get you the numbers on that, but
Well, I know there's Mark Ayers now, who's the executive director of Illinois Humane Society, has now changed his Facebook page to the picture of him with the back of our mobile van with
Yeah.
the husky there. So he's picked that up from the press conference we did.
we missed having it out last year, so hopefully we'll get the vehicle back out into the public again this year. So.
Great. Thank you. Are you back with us, Grant? Yes, he looks like he is.
Yeah.
You were an eye on that note, right?
I've dropped off about 3 times already.
Yeah, no, we saw you. Your face is still there, but we lose your voice.
Well, that's the bad part.
So, all right, Laura, do you have anything on administrative update?
No, I'll keep it brief. We have our volunteer appreciation event happening tomorrow evening. So I will resend out the Zoom registration link in case anybody would like to join us. It's at 7 o'clock tomorrow. We're excited to be celebrating our volunteers, and as our population has definitely increased recently, we've been preparing to train up some volunteers to come back, and We are also filling a couple vacant positions right now as well. And I'm excited to share that Christina, our animal caretaker supervisor, is coming back from maternity leave today. So yeah, not too much more going on except just getting ready for the busy season.
All right, thank you, and hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, just one more thing with giving DuPage. And last year we were second at like 11:59. Somebody put up, was it like $5,000 donation and to jump ahead of us? But with the 25,000 we raised last year because we took second place, it was an additional 16 from the pot of money being one of the top fundraisers. So another 16 came to us. So our total was 41,000 and a Jay Cutler helmet because we were on Mother's Day, we won the most donations or whatever. So, and you guys auctioned that off, so thank you very much. But so and there's a lot more charities participating this year.
Yep, there's over 100 participating.
So, but if we do a very good job and as we did last year in raising the money, it also allows us to get a bigger piece of the pot at the end of the rainbow, I guess it is. So again, this year, I think with Friends, you got, more people engaged, and the more we got engaged, the more likely are to have people help us out. And the great work that Barb and Laura, Christy, and the staff have been doing, it helps us tell a good story. New business, we have a discussion here. I think, is that you, Laura, on our proposal? I just saw Margaret on the way up here.
Do we have any old business first?
Oh, old business, sorry, I just did old business and skipped right over everybody. So old business, Sheila.
No, I don't.
Anybody else have any old business?
It's on the
I know,
paper.
and I said old business, I went. Anybody else have any old business? Okay, now we'll go to new business, and we have one discussion item.
Yep, so in your packet, we've included a memo about the proposed change for after hours on-call pay for our animal control officers. Our department works a 37.5-hour work week compared to some others that do a 40-hour work week. So one of the things that we are proposing to change is to make sure that anytime an officer is called out, that they're always at time and a half. With the current policy, they have to get up to a 40-hour work week and then they start earning time and a half. So this changes that. And then the on-call pay, which is the pay that they get just for being on call, is an increase of 2.5 regular hours. The frequency that they've had to be on pay being the fact that we normally have about 4 people rotating, and the number of calls they go on has been quite taxing. And we've, during exit interviews and just talking to staff, I think this will make it a little bit easier to stomach being on call so frequently.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our on-call?
I have a couple questions
Sure.
on that. Sure. So how many people rotate through your on-call per week? Is it somebody that's on call for the week or a day, or how do you divide that up?
Yep, so they're on call from Saturday to Saturday. And during the week, the on-call shift starts at 4 p.m. and then goes until we open at 8 a.m. That next morning. We normally have 4 animal control officers. Because we've had a hard time keeping staff in those positions, we've been down to as few as 2. Right now we have 3, and I have personally been filling in the rotation to try to minimize any burnout they might be feeling with a more frequent rotation. But ideally, they're only on call every 4 weeks.
Thank you.
That's the thing we've discussed a lot over the last few years is during the day, we don't necessarily need 4 animal service officers working during the day, but because of the on-call, every 4th week versus every 3rd week, or like when we get down to every 2 week, and Laura's been on a lot of doing the on-call. And so there's been discussions about, some of the animal service or caretakers in the back. Do we have some kind of floating people do on-call? Because the on-call is the difficult thing. They can't do anything really. You got to be available. So it's not that you can go out on a Saturday night or midnight and enjoy yourself and have fun, because you could get a call. So that whole week you're stuck. And if we don't have 4 and we're down to 2, it's every other week. It makes it very difficult. And as Laura said, some of the ones that we've had over the last couple of years, we lose them, and part of it on the exit interviews is because of the 1, they have to do this on call, and 2, it's they don't feel like they get compensated either. And this, my understanding was, we weren't in line with some of the other ones that you looked at, Laura, correct?
Yeah, we met with Margaret and Cheryl and Nick to also look at other policies within the county, as well as how we looked at other animal control facilities in
Yeah, some of the other
Colorado.
animal, from my understanding, some of the other animal facilities were a lot higher on their on-call pay.
Yeah, they were all starting at time and a half right out of the gate, where our officers weren't.
Paul?
Well, I guess that's my question is, why are they at 37.5
That's my
hours
question,
versus
too.
40 hours?
Well, pretty much everybody on campus, I think, is 37.5 hours,
All employees on campus are 37 and a half?
pretty much. We have some at 35 too.
Really?
Yeah, they're 37.5. In fact, we had an issue a few years ago here because some of our employees were on a 40-hour work week when most, the whole campus was 37.5. What's it, 8.5 hours with an hour lunch or something like that? Or is that?
Correct.
that
Everybody
what
on
it is?
campus is 37.5. Our field personnel, DOT, Public Works, they're 40 hours. So it's a shorter lunch. So it's just two different, by what was, it's been in place for probably 25, 30 years at 37.5.
Or maybe I was thinking 35. There's no 35 out there. I think that's the township. I think there's some of the townships
Yeah,
have
there's no
30. Some of the townships around here have 35-hour work weeks.
So then all of the departments, if anyone were to work overtime, they have to get to 40 before. they
Yeah,
get overtime?
there's a give back at 2.5 hours, and then once they get to 40, then they can earn overtime.
All right.
And the 37 and a half gets them to the benefit level, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's, well,
Well, if you're half-time.
yeah, I think it's over 20 hours
Yeah.
is the benefit.
Thank you.
Maybe a little, well, certain benefits over
It
20.
slides. I mean, there's different benefits that kick in, part-time.
Over 1,000, which would be 20 hours is IMRF. I think there's a little more for maybe the health insurance, maybe a little more than that.
Specifically, I'm kind of questioning the health insurance, so thank you.
So, other questions? But Paul, that was the same question I asked when I got here, 37.5.
Yeah, really, so why?
So, all right, any other new business then? Okay, so we'll do a motion to adjourn. Sheila?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
So
Paul,
moved.
Paul with a second, okay. So we'll do a roll call.
Desart,
Aye.
Echo,
Aye.
I think that was on.
You got it there.
Garcia,
Aye.
Krajewski,
Aye.
Rutledge,
Aye.
Tornatori.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.